What's good, fellas? Fight night 223 is about to take place in, honestly, a couple of minutes. I'm getting this video out super late. I've just been really busy, but I'm going to try and make this the fastest prediction video I've made because I don't want to miss any of these fights. This is literally what I do every Saturday. It's my thing, so without further ado, let's just get straight into the card. First fight of the night, Joselyn Edwards versus Lucie Pudilova. I've been getting all these female fights incorrect for the most part, or just super 50-50. I'm going with Joselyn Edwards. I feel like she'll win a decision. She's better at striking. She has more reach. She has more wins, I believe. Don't quote me. Next up, Phillips versus Gaston Bolanos. I don't even know why Gaston's in the UFC. 6-3 record, and he's not that great. Phillips, to be honest, haven't seen too much from him that would make me think he's all that great either, but I'm going to pick him tonight. Moving up, Bruna Brasil versus Denise Gomes. Again, kind of a coin flip. I'm going to take Bruna Brasil strictly due to the fact that she's more experienced. I know, not the best reasoning, but again, it's really 50-50 for me tonight on these. Next up at lightweight, Daniel Zellhuber taking on Lando Vanata. I'm going to go with Lando Vanata, even though I think the majority of people are favoring Daniel Zellhuber. He's younger, only has one loss, and I think it came to Trey Ogden, which is why I'm picking Lando Vanata. I just feel like if you can lose to Trey Ogden, you can 100% lose to Lando Vanata. So I'm going to go with Lando Vanata winning by a TKO. I'm feeling it for some reason. Don't know why, but I feel like he can get him out of there with a kick leading into ground and pound. Next up, Gillian Robertson taking on Piera Rodriguez. I've been wrong every time I side with these undefeated fighters debuting in the UFC. So I'm going to go Gillian Robertson. She's super 50-50, and her record shows that. But she also just beat Rose Namajunas in a submission grappling event, so fuck it, I'm going to take her. Next up at light heavyweight, we've got two fighters that I don't even know why they're in the UFC. Zak Cummings taking on Ed Herman. Both of these guys are just kind of bottom of the barrel fighters, if I'm being real with you. I wouldn't even call them gatekeepers. I'm going to pick Zak Cummings. I'm going to be severely disappointed if he can't get the win. Severely disappointed. I'm nervous as fuck for this fight because Brandon Royval can just get injured out of nowhere after winning a fight in pretty dominant fashion. Or honestly, it always gets close, I guess. He gets dropped a lot. Brandon Royval taking on Matteus Nicolau, though. Nicolau's on a run, but I, for some reason, just want to pick Royval. I just feel like this is a style matchup that favors him and favors the way he fights. So I'm going to pick Brandon Royval by a really close 29-28 decision. A UD, for sure. And then moving up the card, we got Bill Algeo taking on TJ Brown at featherweight. I'm going to go with Bill Algeo. I mean, he beat Joe Anderson Brito, and that man is definitely looking like he could be something in the featherweight division, something special with the finishes he's picked up as of late in the octagon. So yeah, I'm gonna ride with Bill Algeo, but this is a fight that I've kind of gone back and forth on because TJ Brown could definitely get it done. I just don't feel like he will be able to do anything to Bill Algeo. Next up, Clay Guida versus Rafa Garcia. This one's easy for me. I'm going with Rafa Garcia. I just feel like Clay Guida he's able to win certain matchups in the UFC against styles that can't take a pressure-heavy grappler, but this isn't that man. This is Rafa Garcia, who fights the exact same, but he's just younger and in his prime. So I'm going with Rafa Garcia, probably by TKO. Next up, Pedro Munhoz versus Chris Gutierrez. This is a fight that I really don't know who to pick. I'm going to side with Chris Gutierrez by a close decision, but Pedro Munhoz could easily get this done. I don't know why so many people are counting him out. He hasn't looked bad in these fights lately. He looked a little bit iffy in the Sean O'Malley fight, but I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Eye poke, right? Something along those lines. He still looked all right, though, and he did the best against Sean that I've seen anybody do, not named Petr Yan. Next up, we've got Tanner Boser taking on Cutelaba. Tanner Boser's debuting at light heavyweight. I could see Cutelaba winning this, but I'm going to side with Tanner Boser. I just hope that he can be himself or better than who he is at heavyweight now that he's down at light heavyweight. But I'm nervous that Cutelaba can out-grapple him and win a boring decision. Really hoping it doesn't happen. Next, the feature fight of the night, Dustin Jacoby taking on Azamat Murzakanov. Azamat Murzakanov is somebody I put in my video, fighters to look out for in April. And even with that being said, I'm going to pick Dustin Jacoby. He's just looked really good in the octagon lately. He strung together a fat win streak until his last fight where he lost a controversial split decision. I felt like he lost it, but some people thought he won. So I get it. I'm going to side with Dustin Jacoby, though. I just feel like his hands and his kickboxing, his technique and all that is just going to be able to overwhelm Azamat Murzakanov after maybe like a difficult first round, let's call it. Next up for the co-main event of the night, and this is honestly a great co-main event, we've got Edson Barbosa taking on Billy Quarantillo at featherweight. Edson Barbosa's looked great at featherweight. He's looked great. I think he won his debut at featherweight against Dan Ige. I think he was robbed horribly. Most people probably believe that. And other than that, he's only really lost to Bryce Mitchell and who else was it? Giga Chikadze at featherweight, right? Maybe I'm mistaken. There might be another one in there. But he's looked really good overall. But this is his style counter. This is like a nightmare matchup. Billy Quarantillo, young in his prime, stringing together decent wins. It's kind of been like a win-loss here and there, but I'm going to pick Billy Quarantillo. I trust his style to get it done against the OG. Now for the main event, one of my favorite fighters of all time, Max Holloway taking on Arnold Allen. I'm seeing a lot of people counting out Max. A lot of people are counting him out. Don't think that he can get it done. Think he's washed. Think he's taking too much damage. I don't understand where this narrative is coming from. Just because he lost to Volkanovski, who's the greatest fighter in the UFC currently, not named John Jones. I just don't get that narrative at all. Other than that, Max has pretty much demolished everybody else he fought. Yair Rodriguez was a close fight, but that's Yair Rodriguez, who's currently the interim champ and clearly one of the best fighters in the world and at featherweight. And Max still did that to him. So I feel like a lot of people are counting Max out. Arnold Allen is great. He's somebody I've been really paying attention to since I started watching MMA heavily back in 2017. He's always just been somebody that I've looked out for and figured could be a future champ, but I think Max is going to take him into deep waters and drown him.